All right, let's get on to the final topic. Here they go again. I don't know. I don't really know. I got so tired. I'm just gonna say this. Like while I was on vacation, I got so tired because people were hitting me up and they were like, yo, Ezra Miller is in the news again. And I was like, for what? And they were like, yo, Ezra Miller got accused again. And I was like, for what? Like, yo, he got arrested. I'm like, yo, you don't understand. Like, Ezra Miller is like a certain politician that when you say they got in trouble, you like, okay, but for which crime? But for which accusation? Because is it the grooming? Is it the assault? Is it the robbery? Is it the restraining order? Is it like I'm losing track? I'm losing track of all the Ezra Miller issues. I you know I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And here's the thing. Here go a breakdown. Shout out to Complex for doing all of Ezra Miller's grooming, abuse, and harassment controversies. And to be honest with you, I don't even know if they got it all. I don't know. But let's just go. We ain't gonna read them all because if you want, I got videos on this stuff. You can go through my channel and check them out. And it's honestly too long. We'd be here for another hour and a half talking about all the stuff Ezra Miller has done or been accused of. That's how much crap Ezra Miller is involved with. That's how much. Faces charges for marijuana possession. Okay, no big deal. Whatever. I guess this was like in 2011. All right, whatever. Miller alleges an unnamed director and producer harassed them when they were underage. Whoa. Okay. I didn't know about that. Concerns build about Ezra Miller's Flash movie among delays. Footage. Yep. This is probably where it went downhill, where Ezra was choking a young woman at the bar. Ezra is involved in multiple alleged allegations. This is when Ezra was arrested, accused of harassment, terrorizing the folks in Hawaii.
And this just in, more trouble for the Flash actor Ezra Miller. Big Island police say officers arrested the 29-year-old Vermont resident early this morning for assault.
Apparently going into what was it? He went into, some Hawaiian couple allowed Ezra to go to their place to stay. Ezra broke in, tried to steal their passport and wallet. They filed a restraining order against them, and then all of a sudden, they mysteriously dropped it. Hawaii and Ezra just don't mix. What else do we have here? Miller and the Johnny Depp stuff complicate Fantastic Beasts. Yes, of course. Miller was accused of grooming the 18-year-old activist.
And a North Dakota parent alleged that Miller groomed his child, Takata, who met the actor at the age of 12 during a protest of the Dakota Access Pipeline.
Basically making her parents very concerned, and her parents even filed a motion in court accusing Miller of grooming and affecting this young lady in the process. Let's see, a 12-year-old was granted an order of protection against Miller because the parents thought that Miller was grooming them for whatever, let's just say bad reasons. Supposedly Warner Brothers held an emergency meeting over the behavior of Ezra Miller. Now, Warner Brothers came out and made a statement and said, no, we didn't. We didn't have an emergency meeting about Ezra Miller. But at the same time, they wouldn't make an official statement about Ezra Miller. So they had the energy to say, we ain't had no meeting, but they have no energy to talk against Ezra Miller at all. All right. Well, are we done yet? No, we're not. Miller reportedly has a mother and 3 kids living in an unsafe farm. This was the story where we saw or heard that Miller had all these guns and laying around, and there was like a young kid, maybe like a 1-2-year-old with a bullet in their mouth and all this other stuff. Crazy stuff with these accusations. We're still not done. Jesus. Okay. Then Warner Brothers talked about they might replace Miller in The Flash. We still don't know about that. Miller was accused of abusing women in Berlin because Miller clearly wants to go international with their domestic terrorism. Miller claims that they're paranoid about the FBI and the KKK following them. Okay, what else? The Flash is still a go from Warner Brothers, from the boss, as we read earlier before, because they said it's still great. Then, okay, we're finally catching up. Miller was hit with felony burglary charges in Vermont. Oh my gosh, this like I'm tired. I'm tired of reading all the stuff Ezra Miller has done within like a couple years. If that, the stuff Ezra has done in just these couple years is ridiculous. So now we hearing that Ezra is charged with a felony burglary in Vermont. According to the report, police were notified by a burglary complaint from a residence in Stanford at 5:55 p.m. on May 1st. Police found that several bottles of alcohol were taken from the residence while the homeowners were not present. After collecting statements and looking at surveillance videos, police found probable cause to charge Miller with felony burglary into an unaccompanied dwelling. Are you serious? You stealing liquor? You stealing liquor? I don't know what to say. I don't know. Like, Ezra is stealing liquor. Like, this is what it's come down to. And the police clearly have them on tape, like on video. So this ain't just an accusation. This is, we got you. We got you. Then even that whole other situation with the little kid, now you got child services involved. You got child services looking for Ezra Miller for the whole situation with the kids and stuff being kept in an unsafe place, because Ezra has been accused, by the way, of being a cult leader. Now, if y'all recall, when we were first talking about all of the situations with the grooming with the 18-year-old and all that, I told you at that point, sounded like a cult leader. Sounded like a cult leader. And they're being accused of it now. Miller is being accused of having a cult and stuff like that. We're still not done. I'm sorry. We're still not done. Because there was another report that just released that Ezra Miller allegedly disrupted production on Stephen King's The Stand. Now, some of y'all might recall this little TV series that happened, but this was something that also happened too. So here's what some of the things said here. According to Kevin Armstrong, things got bad enough that Ezra Miller's legal counselor and manager were called in because many people on set were feeling unsafe around Miller, with Armstrong describing Miller's behavior as disgusting and horribly unprofessional. Wow. It says that these recollections from The Stand are just some of the new allegations laid out in the Business Insider's report. The outlet also shared that Miller behaved like a cult leader to the people they welcomed into their Airbnb rental. And this is back in Iceland. It's worth noting that during this time, a video emerged on social media of him choking a person on the bar. That was the woman. An extra from The Stand named Kevin Armstrong said that around their time, while they were around Ezra Miller on the miniseries, alleging that Miller frequently spat and screamed at people during takes to get a rise out of them. Armstrong also claimed that Miller once told the following offensive joke: It was something to the effect of a Jew, a black man, and a gay man walk into a bar, and the bartender said, "Hey, what are you doing here? You don't belong here." First of all, let me just say, I don't care what the circumstance is. You spit on me, we fighting. I don't care if we playing a role in a movie. You better get a body double. You better get a stunt man. You better CGI that in there. You spit on me, we fighting. Period. And I'm not gonna stop until I'm like done. That's Ezra Miller's out here spitting on folks to get a rise out of them. Forget the offensive joke. Forget all that stuff. You out here spitting on folks? For what? For kicks and giggles? Like, what are you doing? And clearly, Ezra knew who to choose. Because he ain't choose the right one. Because you choose the wrong one. Listen. Couldn't have been me. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. Ooh, listen, out of all the pet peeves, I'm a man of peace. I'm a pacifist. I don't even like violence.
Try being a pacifist.
Oh, I'll be a pacifist. I'll pass my fist through your face.
But I will get violent if you spit on me. Oh, it's done. It's done. So Ezra Miller has been terrorizing people on the stand, set, international, domestic, don't matter. Nobody's safe from Ezra Miller. But during all of this, Ezra still found time to shoot a couple scenes for The Flash. Because y'all remember what Zaslav said, The Flash is great. The Flash is a great movie. So while the law was looking for Ezra Miller, y'all remember when they were running away and said, y'all can't find me and all of that? Y'all remember that? Ezra was poking fun at the law because they were getting accused of grooming people and they were getting citations from courts and all that stuff. And Ezra was like, can't touch me. But Ezra managed to go back to the studio to shoot scenes for the movie. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know nothing, so don't quote me on nothing. But I'm like, isn't that Warner? Are y'all liable for any of that? Like, WB, aren't you kind of like helping them in a sense? Like, the law is looking for them. You know this. What they call that? Yeah. Aiding and abetting. Ain't that aiding and abetting? Again, I'm no lawyer. I don't know none of this. I don't know. I'm just asking. Well, all of this stuff has brought WB to basically weigh some options. And they've had to come down to 3 options when it comes to Ezra Miller. And the 3 options go as follows. Here's the first option. Warner's has received indications that the 29-year-old Miller, whose mother has accompanied the actor in recent days, will seek professional help after returning home to their farm in Vermont after being away. If that happens, Miller, who goes by they, them pronouns, could give an interview at some point explaining their erratic behavior over the past few years. The actor could then do limited press for The Flash. The movie could open in cinemas as planned. Hell no.
Oh, hell no.
Hell no. Y'all not about to sit here and be like, oh, mental illness. This and that. Get Ezra help. Let Ezra get whatever help Ezra needs. Please. But what you're not going to do is excuse all that behavior and sweep it under the rug and do that. That's what some people, unfortunately, in this country do with white domestic terrorists. that they go and shoot up a whole church of black people, or they go commit these vile, heinous crimes and say like, oh, they were just mentally disturbed. Oh, mental. But then if it's somebody else, you throw the book at them. No. Get Ezra the help that they need. Put whatever rehab. Cool. I'm down with that. I've said that from the jump. Ezra deserves any and all help that they require. They do not require protection. We don't need to make excuses. And trying to give Ezra an interview to explain, what's Ezra gonna say? What is this interview gonna do? You think that interview is not still gonna be something? Oh, and what did they say? Limited press. That's what I was looking for. The actor could do the interview and then do limited press for the Flash. Let me tell y'all what that means. Because I told y'all this before, didn't I? Didn't I tell you that the PR and the marketing for the Flash is going to be so difficult? Not just for Ezra, but also for the cast and crew. It's gonna be tough for everybody because everybody's gonna have questions about that. But what do you think limited press means? We're only gonna give it. I told y'all there's levels, right? We're only gonna give it to the A1s. We're only gonna give it to the top tier press, and they're gonna have spoon-fed softball questions. We don't want you to talk about Ezra. We don't want you to talk about this, but you can talk about that. That's what limited press translates to. Ain't nobody about to ask them like actual hardcore questions. Hey, Ezra, why you choked that lady out? Hey, Ezra, like, are you on medication? Hey, Ezra, like, what's going on? Can you explain why you spitting on folks? Hey, Ezra, can you address the cult leadership and the grooming and all these other allegations? Yo, Ezra, we need to talk. Ain't nobody finna ask him that in limited press. It's gonna be nice, scripted, planned out questions. That's what it is. Now, again, if Ezra has a health issue, if Ezra has a mental issue, if Ezra is like on medication or drugs or something like that, listen, I hope the best for Ezra. I hope that Ezra gets all that help, but I'm sorry, you still have actions that you're accountable for. And if it's not on Ezra, let's just say this is something for whatever reason outside of their ability. Where your mama? Where your people's at? Because I'm looking at all of them too. Where your people's at? If you that big of an issue, how are you able to just run free and just terrorize everybody like this? Here's the second option. Even if Miller doesn't reach out for help, Warner's could still release the movie. But don't expect Miller to play a prominent role in terms of marketing and publicity. Nor would Miller be the Flash going forward, as the role would be recast in future projects. That sounds like what y'all want to do anyway. The fact that y'all out here got the boss saying, I like the movie and it's great, and you not talk about Miller at all, this sounds like what y'all doing right now. Now, when I mentioned all those things about the boss saying, oh, the Flash is great and the movie's great and all that, this also was before the felony charge and the child protective services and all that other stuff. That was after. That was all before those new things happened. I mean, Ezra Miller's drama keeps like, it'd be like 0 days since the last Ezra Miller incident. So they sitting here like, oh yeah, this is great. New charge. And you know, every time Ezra Miller trends on social media, everybody in Warner's just like, oh my God, what are we doing? Oh my God. They just be pressed. They don't know what to do. So let's go over the third option. The situation with Miller deteriorates further. this would see Warner's killing the movie outright, as it could not be reshot with a different actor. Miller plays multiple characters and is in almost every scene. Scrapping a $200 million film would be an unprecedented move. Well, they're almost halfway there. They killed a $90 million movie. What's $200 million? It's another tax write-off, right? Ain't no way they gonna drop that $200 million movie. Ain't no way. They can sit here and drop a quote-unquote irredeemable bad Batgirl, that movie that was made for streaming. They could do that. But I don't think that they would drop a theatrical movie. Now, let me explain why. Yes, it is true that, you can't go doing the recast right now, because recasting means you got to go get an actor and play the roles, and it's almost like doing a whole movie. I get that. Do y'all remember early in the pandemic when WB dropped all those movies that were supposed to go to theaters straight to streaming? Remember that? Wonder Woman, Matrix, Godzilla versus Kong, all of those things. Do y'all remember the backlash that happened? We covered it on this channel. They got sued, or they had to make out all these deals and pay all these other people that, the directors were not happy. The other studios that work with them, not happy. The actors were not happy, because a lot of times people will sign on a contract and say, this is supposed to be in theaters. And if this goes on theaters, maybe I took a pay cut. Maybe if I'm Michael Keaton, for example, maybe I was like, you know what, just so you can afford me, I'm not going to take money on the initial $200 million, but I'm going to make money on the back end. Well, if you don't drop that movie in theaters, Michael Keaton ain't getting paid, for example. So you're going to have a whole lot more lawsuits on your hands if you don't put that movie that was made to go to theaters and it actually goes out in theaters. It's different to say, okay, I'm not going to drop something on the internal HBO Max on streaming. That's whatever. It's already an internal cost. You're not really, everyone that was supposed to be paid probably is already paid, right? But if it goes to theaters, that's a whole different ballpark. So not making it go to theaters, y'all ready for them lawsuits? Y'all ready to have that issue with the actors and you ready to go through that drama again? Y'all just came out of that. And I already told y'all on my channel, I do have the other best option. And it's the fourth option. Reshoot a post-credit scene. All you have to do, you already have Barry running around messing with time. I've said this before. Just go ahead, reshoot a post-credit scene and show Barry's time manipulation or whatever. And all of a sudden his face is different. And that's the ending shocking thing. It's someone else's face. It's time travel. It's fiction. You don't have to reshoot the entire movie. You just literally shoot 5 minutes, maybe less than that, 30 seconds. Barry wakes up, washes his face in the bathroom, all of a sudden looks up, and it's Dylan O'Brien or somebody else. I don't know. You don't think people are going to be like, uh-oh, what's Flash going to do next time? It happens. It's fiction. So, anywho, what do you think about these three options for WB to take on with the Flash? Should they do the interview with Ezra Miller after Miller gets help with limited press? Or do you think they should go with the second option where they just release the movie and act like Ezra don't even exist? Or the third option where they scrap everything and I would think risk potential lawsuits or shelling out more money and severing bad relationships? Or the fourth option, shoot a quick little post-credit scene, recash right there. Maybe. Y'all let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. This was just a segment of one of my live chats, and if you're interested in joining in on the next one, be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications for more. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.